Yo, what's up, Guys? It's the Insane Game Freak here to bring you Durarara Season 2 Show Episode 2 review. Let's go. Okay, so first thing I want to say is that you guys you're killing that like quota, so we shall continue. For this video, I would like to see if we can get to 60 likes. It'd be awesome. We got the 60 likes because I want to show more engagement in these episode reviews. Even if I'm not getting a lot of comments, if the likes are there, that means you're at least watching it or interested in the material. Besides that, if you want to catch up and watch this stuff with me, then Crunchyroll has the entire first season dub and sub, so you can catch up. And the first episode should be available to you even if you don't have the premium. In terms of the second season, the first episode should be available now. If you get the premium or the 14 free day trial, then you're able to just watch the second episode and watch the episode review with me. But then again, if you've already clicked on this video, I assume you've already seen the second episode. But Crunchyroll.com/tdthekid in the description below if you want to get that 14 free day trial and enjoy this Durarara goodness with me the Lego way. Anyways, getting into the actual episode itself, this one was more Durarara fair. We got the return of the chat room. I was wondering when that was going to show back up because I almost completely forgot about it. So, we got the chat room back. Everyone's in it. Masaomi, Izaya, Henri, Mikado, Celti. And they're kind of just, and now Celti has realized that not only has she lost 10 million yen, but there's a bounty on her for 10 times that amount. Which led to a really cute scene to where Shinra walks into the room and she's like in the ball. I guess it's like a depression ball that she hides in when she's feeling depressed. I thought it was really cute. And the whole thing about Shinra bringing back up her spirits. And I'm surprised they actually have Shinra narrating the episode, which I didn't think they were going to do, because they usually just have things happen and you just figure it out along the way. But they actually had Shinra go into detail about everything that was happening. Not like full detail, but you got the general idea. And the whole Shinra being in the ball thing came full circles because that's the reason why he was able to get caught like he does at the end of this episode, because Celti forgot to break him out of the ball, which leads into a whole bunch of bullshit. Also, the zombie dude rocking around, I didn't realize, like, wait a minute, that's probably Hollywood. So the murder Hollywood was fighting this guy. We don't really understand the concept of why they were fighting, but apparently they were fighting, and Shizuo blew them away. But that's like the only little bit of Shizuo we get. The rest of this episode was mainly focused on like a little bit of Henri and Mikado, but like mainly Aoba and Izaya's two little sisters, which names kind of escape me right now. I think one of them was like Oreu, and I don't remember the other one's name. They're the Orihara sisters. The Orihara sisters. And Izaya kind of goes into this little explanation of what kind of sisters they are. They seem to have some weird complex to which, instead of being their own individual personalities, which they are, for some reason they feel the need to kind of complete one another. It's like the way he described it in the anime was, it's like an RPG. They're making up for what the other one lacks. Which I don't really get. I wonder if there's a deep-rooted issue with that or not, because they both seem to have a thing for Shizuo's brother, not Shizuo himself, which means they probably have met Shizuo back when they were younger. So I'm curious to see what that is all about. Just to see. I wonder if we'll get a flashback for them, because I'm curious to see if they were always like that, or which I don't think they were. It seems like they actively chose to be like that at a certain point. So I'm curious to see what caused that. I'm not, and granted, it isn't like Durarara always shows backstories, but I hope they show theirs. Aoba's introduction was interesting, so we now know he's a part of the Dollars. He knows that. I also do like the fact that it's a reference to the first season, that he was in that group. I kind of wish they went out of their way to show him in the first season. So it'd be like, oh, it's full circle, but they didn't. But the point is that he's a Dollar, like Mikado, but he doesn't know where Mikado is in the Dollar faction. He just assumes he's high up. He doesn't know he's the leader, which gets into the conversation that Mikado, Henri, Erica, and Walter have in the karaoke bar, where it was like, "Can you help me show Aoba around town?" Which is cool because we've only seen Walter and Erica interact with like Mikado and them like a little bit. They don't always like. I think there's only like a few episodes in which they actually interact with each other. So I'm curious to see how those interactions are going. If it's based on anything in this episode, it'll be pretty funny. But if I remember correctly, Walter and Erica are part of the Dollars, but don't recognize that Mikado is the leader of the Dollars because Henri doesn't know that he's the leader of the Dollars yet. So that's why it's also really interesting because it's like they're kind of talking to their boss, but they don't realize that they're talking to their boss. And then we had the thing about Saika, which I figured was going to get brought back up. So that's implying that Saika's original owner was Shinra's father at some point, I assume. Either that, because Saika makes a reference to knowing him. So I'm like, so did either Shinra know somebody who used to rock? Did Shinra's dad either know the guy that used to own Saika or was the guy that used to own Saika? I'm not sure. And then on top of that, him knowing that, it's like, so Saika has a connection with the Shinra family line, which then brings up the question, who the fuck was the dude he was talking to? Because Henri was like, oh, he gives me a bad feeling just by passing by him. So that's an interesting perspective. Aoba, but getting back to Aoba and Izai's sisters, it's not really anything too shocking considering the OVA from the last season kind of showed that their sisters were eccentric as fuck and had some incestuous side to them, and then on top of that, were fucking strong. And so it's like when you see what she does to the girls who fucked up her desk, it's kind of like, yeah, that's exactly what you would have expected. And then the younger sister is more devious with it. And we get the scene when the girls confront Aoba about like, because Aoba just busts them out like, he doesn't even care. He's like, oh, it was those girls the other day. he's like, you think you're gonna get away with that? I do like Aoba. Seems like one of those anti-hero type characters because he's like, because the way he kind of responds, like, look, I'm not a good enough of a person to stop you from doing it to their desk, but I'm not a bad enough person to let you get away with it. But even then, when you hear his reason for not letting him get away with it, he's like, well, you didn't swear me to secrecy, which then brings up the question that means if they had sworn him to secrecy, then he would have just been like cool. So he seems like the anti-hero of the Dollars, which is kind of counteracting what Mikado is, because Mikado wants to use the Dollars for good things, but he doesn't want to abuse it as if it's a group. He's just like, if you're part of the Dollars, then you're there to do good things. So Aoba seems like kind of a slight counteraction to him. So we'll see. I don't know how far his anti-hero-ness goes, but you can tell he's not like a straight good guy. But it then brings up the question, why'd you want to be a part of the Dollars in the first place? So I'm curious. The sisters, it seems like the younger sister might have a thing for Aoba, but I don't know how far that's going to go. I assume this first arc will be dealing with him specifically in Izai's sisters, so I don't know how far that's going to go, but I'm looking forward to seeing it. And then as I said before, the cliffhanger is Shinra has himself in a really shitty position because some random guys are walking to his apartment and are probably going to kidnap him, and Celti's going to freak out because she's like, oh my god, I didn't even think about that. So I'm looking forward to see where that goes. As far as the episode goes in its entirety, that was pretty good. I like Aoba. I'm curious to see where he's going to go. I want to see more interactions with him and Mikado to see how far, because I'm curious about his personality if anything else. And then I don't know how far involved Henri's going to get with this whole, these guys that she doesn't know but seem to know something about her thing. Because I feel like Henri will get re-involved with Celti. Because as I said, Henri doesn't know that that's Shinra's father. Even though if she knows Shinra and Celti, she doesn't know that Shinra's father. So it's like, it's the interweaves. It's the entering weaves of Durarara that I love it. I love it. I love it. Ah, it's so good. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. This has been the Insane Game Freak. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Life's a game. Play to win. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace off.